So on the topic of sharing our faith, most Christians know that we have a responsibility to share our faith. We know the consequences are really dire. They're eternal consequences because we read in 1 John 5:11 and 12, for instance, whoever has the Son has life. Whoever does not have the Son of God does not have life. And so we know that it drastic consequences. We know in Romans 10 we're told, how can they hear unless there's someone who preaches the message? And that faith comes by hearing. So most Christians actually know that we need to be sharing the gospel, and it's very important. But in the last 50 years or so, a concept has come into the faith that has just taken evangelism by storm, and that's called friendship evangelism. So there are a few things about friendship evangelism that really need to be pointed out. One is it's not the biblical method. It's not what we see in the Bible. Two is that it's not the most effective method for getting the message to people as soon as possible. And three, it's based on fear, and we should never really actually build something that we do as Christians in faith on fear. So firstly, it's not the biblical method. The biblical method that we see from Jesus is that he would go out and actually in public spaces, he would preach the message. We see his disciples taking this on. We see Paul taking this on when he goes from town to town. He preaches publicly in the public square. Some people say, well, we live in a multicultural society, so we can't do that today. But Paul also was going to vastly different cultures, and yet this worked. Before he didn't.